Wow, talk about taking a bite out of an apple. Shares down right now. You can see it on the screen, more than 4%, and heading for the first close in the red this year. We're talking about giving up all of its gains. The shares, in fact, are off nearly a fifth from their record high, and that was just seen a couple of months ago this year. Now, get ready for 35,000 screaming fans at a stadium in Alabama. No, it's not for Taylor Swift or Leonard Skinner. We're talking Donald Trump, 35,000 strong, getting ready to see the Donald in the stadium. He's not singing, but you will get to catch him live. The coverage, Lou Dobbs all over it, live tonight. Lou Dobbs tonight, right here on the Fox Business Network. Now to Sherry Jacobus and Jackie Kucinich. Sherry, listen, we were talking earlier on the show about how Republicans in general should benefit or could benefit big as the market pulls back here. The economy continues to be lackluster. And Donald Trump has been the one in the forefront who has been saying, well, America isn't great, and echoing themes that matter to people. Not details, but certainly these economic themes.
Yeah, well, they are themes, and he's the one that people are hearing because that's who the media is covering. We have other candidates who are also have some pretty good economic messages, and I think that the Trump bubble is about ready to burst. He still, he resonates with some people, but we're seeing now that as they look at his policies, people are having some questions. I think what this does do is it might help some of the Republican governors and former governors that are in the race who have actually had to govern states as sort of miniature presidents. They've had to balance budgets. They've had to fight for policies and come up with policies. For creating jobs and keeping their state economies healthy. So that's actually, I think, helpful to people like Kasich and Jeb Bush and Walker. It's to their benefit.
What do you think, Jackie?
You know, one of the most interesting things about this Trump phenomena is who he's appealing to within the conservative base. He has very strong numbers with evangelicals. He has very strong numbers with the very conservatives. So I think that's why one of the reasons you're going to see a really big turnout at this Alabama rally this evening. But yeah, he is drowning out the other competitors. And while some are, Jeb Bush is trying to take him on head on, isn't really working out for him, which is why you see some of the others just kind of coasting under the radar until maybe this goes away.
Well, coasting? Jackie? Do you think they're coasting under the radar, or are they drowning under the radar?
I mean, it's still very early. So, I mean, we'd have President Bachmann if we were going by exactly. who was popular the last cycle. So I think there is something to be said for not peaking too early. So for the candidates that are following that strategy, you're right in the way that, maybe they're losing some fundraising dollars. Maybe they're not getting that message out there as much as they can right now. But there's still a lot of time for it. And maybe right now isn't the best time to pop your head up and get attacked by Donald Trump, who has this megaphone right now in terms of the media and in terms of the Republican base. They're listening to him right now.
I can see some political strategists comforting these guys who are in the single digits right now and don't pop too early, and there would be a President Bachmann. But it would be somewhat specious, certainly disingenuous to suggest that Bachmann had the kind of enthusiasm and excitement that a Trump has right now, or that Fred Thompson ever had it. Even Rudy Giuliani, who at one point was polling at 35%, didn't have the pizzazz. He didn't have the Beatlemania thing that Donald Trump has. So I think it's a false sense of security if you think simply being in first now means you're not going to win.
Well, he started out with the name ID and a popularity from his show The Apprentice and because of his media presence for years prior to this. But there is a ceiling to the support that he'll get. We already know now that he is coming out with the details on his immigration policy. Everybody supports building a wall, but he's done what everybody else has done for the last 20 years, and he's linked it to other policies trying to drag it along. So he's really no different than other politicians. We also know that only about 31% of Republicans support this mass deportation, and far fewer of the general voting population. So as the devil is in the details, and Donald Trump is finding that out, and he's going to find that out as he starts revealing more details. And I predict, as others do, that he'll peak in after about mid-September. It will hit the ceiling, and then he's going to have to
we got
play
you
by
for
the same
peak.
rules.
Jackie, sounds like you're in that same camp, right? You're saying peak real soon.
I have learned over the course of this race so far, I don't make predictions about Donald Trump anymore, because I would have said that he would have been gone, when he insulted John McCain, for goodness sake, and veterans. So he has had a Teflon bubble around him. When that breaks, I don't know, but it will break because I don't see him being the Republican nominee.
All right, guys, listen, I'm not the expert like you guys, but I got to tell you something. There's something going on right now, and I think it's, I don't know who's going to win it, but I think it's, to say it's naturally going to happen or obviously going to happen, I don't see that particularly. The judge calling Hillary Clinton out after a hearing, this is really important, saying, quote, We wouldn't have been here today if this employee had followed government policy. She really is getting a lot of pressure here, but it's not just Hillary. Nearly half of all federal workers actually admit that they're breaking rules with their devices. You know, the fun stuff you bring at home or your computers or whatever. To cyber expert Paul Violas, who says